The most memorable parts of the NBA film was the stirring testimony.
I saw your parents go upstairs.
Did you follow your... Only moving that bit down.
Really dark. Here.
Here, why don't we go in the corridor here?
This one, Edgar.
Sword squad. Me.
He got the sword award. I have the fork award. Glad to meet you.
Hi, you guys. Congratulations, everybody. Woo!
The standard antibiotics for a few weeks.
All right, look at this whole pack.
They want me to send it before, so all the person realize that they're from
Your beard looks nice, man. Look how nice.
Let's see the beard.
Look at that.
Do I look smart? And when they're ready, they will do like this.
Professional.
That's it? You're on film. Wait, turn around, John.
Look, he's got his hat right back.
One more time, John. One more time, John.
Hello.
You weren't at the party last night.
Too late.
What do you mean too late? Well, you're out of here. Congrats.
Howdy. This is it. Eugenio. Hey.
Hi, you guys.
All right. Hey.
Congratulations.
Manuel. All right, man. Can you see them? I can see them.
School of Business recognition ceremony. Before we begin our program, it's my pleasure to introduce two special guests. Carolyn Cross Keenan is one of the recipients of the 1994 Outstanding Young Texas X Award. Carolyn received her BS degree from the University of Texas in 1976 and a Master of Arts degree in the combined areas of communications and business in 1978. She is a longtime supporter of our business school and a member of the board of directors. We are also pleased to have with us Dr. Lyle Murphy, Professor and Chairman, Department of Engineering Management in the School of Engineering and Applied Science at George Washington University. Dr. Murphy. 5 years ago, at the suggestion of our students, we began the tradition of holding our own recognition ceremony for master's degree students in the Graduate School of Business. This recognition ceremony has become a very important part of our school, as evidenced by today's attendance, which Associate Dean Arnold informs me has set another record in terms of number of students participating, as well as parents and friends. This afternoon, we recognize the accomplishments of our MBA and MPA students who will complete their degree requirements this semester or during the summer. I join our faculty and staff in congratulating each of you for what you've accomplished at the Graduate School of Business. We are very proud of your academic achievements and the education that you will be taking with you. And we are equally proud of the legacy of involvement and commitment that you are leaving behind. Commencements are appropriately named because they truly are about beginnings. You are leaving the university and the Graduate School of Business for a beginning. The beginning of a new phase in your life. A phase when you will become managers and leaders of our business community and builders and shapers of our social environment. You enter the Graduate School of Business as students and you leave as alumni. We've made significant progress in recent years. And as a class, your commitment, involvement, and leadership have helped make that progress possible. And our faculty joins me in thanking you. Another key factor in our progress in recent
to the program during your time with us. We asked you to achieve academic excellence. You have done so. Today we acknowledge and celebrate those academic achievements. There are other contributions, however, that it may be enough to simply say that Boone is one of America's most successful and outspoken business leaders, although he generally calls himself an entrepreneur and leaves it at that. While some of his fame is worried about what government will do to me rather than for me, he often says. Boone has stuck to that philosophy even when the price of his product, natural gas, has literally collapsed around him, forcing him to cinch the belt tighter and tighter at Mesa, that oil and gas company that he founded with a $2,500 investment more than 3 decades ago. Instead of pursuing government bailouts or handouts, Boone has worked to create new demand for natural gas, new markets, and has become one of the nation's most active and effective advocates of natural gas vehicles. What's not so well known about Boone and his wife Bee is that they maintain a ranch in the Texas Panhandle that has been acclaimed by environmentalists and hunters alike. Some say that Boone's effort to capture the transportation market for America's clean-burning natural gas may be the best environmental program yet. Boone is often asked,
Thank you, Dr. Arnold. I appreciate the invitation to address such a distinguished group of students at one of America's finest institutions today. Some of you may know that I graduated from Oklahoma State University a long, long time ago. With that in mind, let me be among the first to welcome you to the Big 12 Alumni Association. take speaking to college students very seriously, in this case college graduates, because you are the future of American business. We are seeing the dawn of exciting days in a new era of global competition. Do I have any concerns about America's ability to compete in this environment? Not in the least. Properly led, the American worker is the best worker in the world. Our free enterprise system gives us an advantage over our competition. And that's what I want to focus on today, competitiveness, both corporate and personal competitiveness. I have a few thoughts on what it will take for America to remain the world's #1 economic power, and what I think it will take for you to succeed in today's increasingly competitive business world. As I proceed today, don't lose sight of two critical points. First, profit is the engine that drives the U.S. economy. Second, corporate America is America. That's where the jobs are, and that's where the taxes are paid. Corporate America includes both large and small businesses. In short, it's what makes our economy go. Let me roll back the clock to the mid-1960s for a moment. The entrepreneurs and founders who built corporate America into the world's economic superpower were giving way to a new breed of post-World War II CEOs. This was the era of the professional manager, and it lasted for about 25 years. They were out to show us a new way of doing things and had their own ideas about how corporate America should be managed. They had different incentives than the founders and entrepreneurs. I'm talking to people like Henry Ford. The founders were more motivated by results. The more efficient their business was, the more prosperous. If the business prospered, they prospered. So did their employees, the suppliers, and the cities where they were located. The professional managers had different incentives and different motivations. They were guided by what I call the 4 Ps: pay, perks, power, and prestige. They lacked the biggest P of all. It was personal risk. And that means ownership. Ownership is critical. Once a professional manager ascended to the top, they somehow thought they owned the company they ran. Oftentimes they used cash flow for empire building and diversifications into fields they knew little or nothing about. The battle cry was the bigger the better. I've always felt that if you couldn't expand your core business, the next thing was to increase your dividend. And that's the last thing these professional managers thought, since they owned very little of the company's stock. Corporate America is owned by 60 million shareholders, and managements are employees. Things got so bad in the 80s that corporate America's owners had taken all they could stand. Companies were bloated and competition suffered. The result was a shareholder backlash and a shareholder rights movement that continues today. You don't have to do much reading to see the outcome. IBM, Kodak, American Express, IT&T, GM, Sears have all made sweeping changes. This has caused management to be more accountable to its shareholders, and accountability is a key to competitiveness. The restructuring movement that started in the 80s will not end anytime soon. I call it a rolling restructuring from here out. Global competition forces change faster than it used to. Business was forced to restructure because it started to look like government. It was a bloated, they were bloated bureaucracies. Now government will have to restructure to look like business, hopefully. Just as corporate America is accountable to its shareholders, government need to be accountable to the taxpayers. And I hope the voter taxpayers are getting fed up. Government should rethink its attitude toward business. Quit looking upon corporate America as a goose with the unlaid golden egg. Government must wake up to the consequences of levying or increasing taxes on corporate America to finance non-productive programs. Again, America's free enterprise system does work. Only in America could someone like me start with $2,500 investment and eventually turn it into one of the nation's largest independent natural gas producers. How can you do it? I have some suggestions. First, learn to analyze well. There's no substitute for good research. Never underestimate the importance of common sense, and don't get emotionally involved. Emotion often overrides common sense. You need to remain as cool as possible. You need to have the courage to stick by your analysis until proven right or wrong. Second, in today's business world, you can't be afraid to act. One of the greatest problems in business today is the fear of making a mistake. Third, learn everything you can about your business. When I was a young geologist for a major oil company, I constantly asked questions about other aspects of the company. I soon became a nuisance. I soon left. It bothers me today to see engineers whose eyes glaze over when the subject turns to finance, or accountants who nod off when the geologists start talking. The most valuable people in any business are those who understand the organization's overall operations and objectives. Fourth, be a team player. As long as you work for someone, you owe them your allegiance and support. That doesn't mean you should ignore problems. Instead, deal with them positively and constructively. Fifth, become an owner. That means buying stock in the company you work for. Believe me, it does make a difference. Although we're in the midst of a major financial restructuring at Mesa, I purchased 2 million shares in our company stock during the past year. Believe me, my ownership makes me as motivated as anyone to turn the company around. Ownership and risk are great motivators. At 65, I'm working as hard as I've ever worked in my life. That takes me to my, and I love it. That takes me to my sixth point, stay physically fit. My experiences with Mesa's fitness program confirm my belief that physically fit employees are more alert, more productive, and more creative. They also exhibit more team spirit. Next, never cheat to win. You don't have to cheat to be successful. In fact, you don't even have to bend your principles. Success tip number 8, practice moderation in all that you do. It's important in all areas of your life. Leave time for your family. Don't believe the myth that you have to slack your family to succeed in business. It's all a matter of establishing priorities and being organized. In summary, my formula for success is fairly simple. Come early, stay late, work hard, play by the rules, stay physically fit. And if you do all of that, I promise you, you will succeed and you'll have fun doing it. It seems like I've heard that someplace else today. Let me leave you with a final thought. I focused on this afternoon on 2 critical themes, accountability and the importance of a strong and competitive corporate America. Let me touch on a third theme, opportunity. It's what faces everyone leaving this great institution of higher learning. When all is said and done, the 1980s won't be remembered as a decade of greed, but as a great period of corporate restructuring. Just as the Berlin Wall came crashing down, so are the walls of corporate bureaucracy. Corporate America is slashing layer upon layer of bureaucracy in what I predict will prove to be the most critical factor behind America's economic resurgence. You hear a lot of people complain about the tremendous job losses in the late 1980s and early 1990s. And they point the finger at the takeovers, mergers, acquisitions, LBOs that took place during that period. What they fail to realize is that the U.S. economy is changing and new industries are forming because old ones are dying. And for every U.S. steel plant that closes, there's an Intel or a Dell coming online. And we're not losing jobs as much as we're creating different jobs and in exciting new industries. And in the process, new opportunities. You are arriving at the right time. I can promise you that. Previous generations of business school graduates found themselves having to scale the walls of corporate bureaucracy at some of the world's most staid corporations. In the wave of corporate restructuring and downsizing and the establishment of new learner startup companies, those barriers are harder to find. For you, a new and exciting era lies ahead. It makes me wish I was 25, not 65. Congratulations and thank you.
On behalf of the Graduate School of Business, we would like to present you with Texas University Orchid, and all of us here would like to wish you a happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you.